Yeah.
This is great. I grew up in the Catholic Church, so it's nice to see the first couple of rows completely empty. Prologue. This story is unbelievable. Like, literally, I don't know if I believe that this story happened to me. That's part one. Part two, it's important that you know for this story that Steve Clark is me. The story. There comes a time in a man's life when Chipotle queso is running down his shirt, and it runs up to the top of his belly, then runs down to the bottom, when he realizes it's time to go back to LA Fitness. Now let me pause you for a second, because I need you to have some faith. Maybe you're the type of people who believe in God. Hopefully you're the type of people who believe in the kind of miracles that can happen between two men in a sauna in Northwest Philadelphia. So I decided, after being delinquent for several months, that I was going to go back to LA Fitness. I resolved that I was going to start working out again. Because you see, I kind of have the body type of an Eastern European street orphan. Like, you can see my ribs, but I kind of have like what looks like the hunger stomach happening. So I decided I was going to go back to LA Fitness in Manayunk. And when I got there, I owed 3 months for various reasons. And they said that I can't come back until I pay the past due bills. So I said, fine, and I looked at my wallet, and I didn't have my credit card, and I started to panic and didn't realize where it was. And I had to go and find it, and some other stuff happened. I found it. I came back, and I had my credit card, and I said, I'm ready to pay. And they said to me this time, no, you just paid. I said, no, I didn't. I was here earlier, but you told me I had to pay the money, and that now I'm coming back to pay. And we were both confused, so I went over to look at the computer screen, and I swear, the person who paid for me, the name that I saw on the screen was Steve Clark. Okay? So I work out, which means that I spend about 10 minutes walking around the gym, bought a smoothie, and then went to spend some time in the sauna. When I got in the sauna, there was a middle-aged man there with his shirt off, and we began a conversation. And this man started to tell me like his entire life story. And I was kind of excited to be bonding, because it's one of the reasons I like to go into the sauna, to bond with the people there. But beyond that, I realized that I'm not going to be able to listen to this whole thing if he keeps going, because I'm not really in sauna shape. Like, I can take maybe 5 or 6 minutes, but not much more than that. But this is like a really deep life story. He tells me how in his 20s, his girlfriend started cheating on him, and he decided that he was gonna end his life. So he went down into the basement, and he took a shotgun, and he put it in his mouth. And God told him to wait a week, which I thought was an odd thing for God to say. But anyway, so he goes through years of depression, and eventually he decides he's gonna contact this woman. And so he emails her, and he says, you really hurt me when you did this. And she tells him about how since she had left him, her life had started to fall apart. And she really wishes that things had worked out between them. And he says that night he prayed to God to take away any of her pain and any of her suffering. And he told me that night was the only wet dream that he's ever had in his life, which I also thought was an odd response from God. But anyway, we continue talking, and it gets to the point where he finds God, and this is about 15 minutes in. I'm about to pass out. I no longer have any moisture in my mouth. And I say to him, listen, I have to go. And he says, oh, what's your name? And I say, Steve. He says, oh, me too. Epilogue. I don't don't know if it was Steve Clark that I met that day. I never asked him. I'd like to believe that it was. I'd like to believe that God was sending me a sign that my resolution to work out again was correct. But I still don't understand anything about the sign that he was sending me that day. Thank you.